Have you ever felt your heart grow cold for things that once made you come alive? That spark you carried, the joy that lit your mornings, seems to have dimmed. You wake up and everything feels heavy, as if life has lost its colors. Sometimes we blame the world, we blame circumstances, we blame other people. But the real reason for losing interest in life is not outside, it is within. It is buried under layers of unprocessed pain, disappointment, fear, and self-doubt. And the truth is, ignoring it only makes the emptiness grow. Today, I want you to look inside, to recognize the silent thief that stole your joy, and to understand that reclaiming it is not just possible, it is inevitable when you choose to confront it. You lost connection with yourself. The first reason is simple yet profound. You stopped listening to yourself. Somewhere along the way, the noise of life, the expectations of others, and the pursuit of validation drowned out your inner voice. You forgot the things that made your heart beat faster, the dreams that once seemed impossible but thrilling, the simple pleasures that once made life beautiful. When you disconnect from yourself, you disconnect from the essence of life itself. This isn't your fault, it's human. We grow up learning to fit in, to perform, to please. But in that process, your own desires, your own curiosity, and your own joy are left behind. Rediscovering yourself is not selfish, it is survival. Begin by asking, what do I truly feel? What makes me come alive? What dreams have I abandoned because they weren't practical or accepted? The moment you reconnect with yourself, the world starts to regain its color. When you listen to yourself deeply, you start making choices that resonate with your soul rather than just your routine. You realize that life isn't about ticking boxes. It is about feeling alive every single day. And the more you honor your inner voice, the more energy, enthusiasm, and interest flows back into everything you do. Every step toward yourself is a step away from apathy. Every time you choose to honor your own heart over external expectations, you reclaim a piece of joy that was stolen. This is the foundation, the deep soil from which all passion and curiosity grow again. Pain became comfort. Sometimes losing interest is not laziness, it is protection. When life has hurt you too many times, when expectations were broken, when betrayal or disappointment became familiar, your heart learns to numb itself. It is easier to feel nothing than to risk feeling pain again. And so, the very thing that once thrilled you now feels meaningless. This numbness is a defense mechanism, but it comes at a cost. Life becomes gray. You don't just lose interest in work, relationships, or hobbies. You lose interest in your own growth. But here is the truth. Numbness is temporary. Pain, when faced, has the power to liberate. It teaches lessons, it sharpens wisdom, and it ignites courage. The way forward is not to run from your pain, but to embrace it. Look at it. Name it. Sit with it. Feel it fully. And in doing so, you start to release the weight that was holding down your curiosity, your motivation, and your zest for life. Every time you process a wound instead of avoiding it, life becomes vibrant again. Understand that your lost interest is not a permanent state, it is an invitation. An invitation to heal, to awaken, and to return to yourself stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever before. Overwhelm silences passion. Another reason you lost interest is overwhelm. Life piled expectations, responsibilities, and pressures on your shoulders so high that the joy of doing anything disappeared under the weight. When survival becomes the focus, pleasure becomes optional, curiosity becomes a luxury, and passion becomes impossible to access. This overwhelm teaches you a brutal lesson: you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot chase dreams, enjoy hobbies, or stay motivated when you are constantly drained. And yet, society celebrates busyness, and you were taught to believe that exhaustion equals worth. But it doesn't. It only steals your spark. To regain interest, you must first create space. space to breathe, space to reflect, space to reconnect with what matters. Small steps, tiny joys, moments of stillness, they are not indulgences, they are necessities. And in that space, your energy returns, your heart opens, and life starts to excite you again. Overwhelm does not have to be permanent, it is a signal, not a sentence. Every time you reclaim a bit of your time and energy, you remind yourself that life is meant to be felt deeply, not just endured. And as you do this consistently, the things that once felt dull start to sparkle again. Fear of failure stopped you. Often, the loss of interest masks something deeper. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of wasting time, fear of not being enough. When fear dominates, your natural curiosity retreats, and you stop trying new things. You stop dreaming big. You stop believing that your life could be more than a routine of survival. Fear tells you lies. It whispers that nothing is worth your effort. But the truth is, nothing worthwhile grows without risk. The moment you challenge fear, even in the smallest ways, you awaken a dormant part of yourself. Interest, motivation, and passion cannot survive in the presence of constant fear. They flourish when you step forward anyway. So look at your fears, name them, and face them with courage. Every tiny act of bravery reclaims a piece of your joy. Every time you choose growth over safety, life becomes exciting again. Fear is not your enemy, it is a teacher. It is the gateway to discovering how deeply you can still feel, love, and achieve. You forgot that life is temporary. The deepest reason we lose interest in everything is forgetfulness. We forget that life is fragile, that every moment is a gift, and that nothing is guaranteed. When days blend into weeks, and weeks into years, we assume we have endless time to chase joy, curiosity, and meaning. And in that assumption, we stop caring, stop exploring, stop feeling alive. Remembering life's impermanence is a powerful awakening. It reminds you to engage, to feel, to take risks, and to pursue what matters before it is too late. Interest returns when you acknowledge that every moment you waste in apathy is a moment lost forever. Gratitude, urgency, and awareness are the fuel to reignite your lost spark. When you live with the awareness that life is temporary, you stop taking joy for granted. You notice the small miracles, appreciate the fleeting beauty, and step into the world with your heart open. The things that once bored you, the things you thought were meaningless, they come alive when you remember that every heartbeat is precious. In the end, losing interest in everything is not a failure, it is a signal. It is your soul calling you to pause, reflect, and reconnect. It is an invitation to heal, to reclaim your energy, to face your fears, and to remember the preciousness of life. You are not broken. You are awakening. You are learning to see, to feel, and to live again. The spark is not gone. It was waiting for you to return. And when you do, when you choose yourself, your joy, and your passion once more, the world itself will begin to shine again through you.